Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you a lovely little notepad. It's held together with magnets and it's just simply got a little A6 notepad inside. I find this size really handy. You know, even if it's just for shopping lists or making notes, I find this is an ideal size. As I say, it's an A6 and of course I've had to initial it for myself, but it's got the beautiful, it's got the beautiful handwritten stamp just there as the background, which I think is perfect for a notebook. And as I say, it's really quite simple to make. It's got a couple of magnets and I'll show you how to do it. And this one is in Pineapple Punch. I've not really used this colour a great deal, so I figured that I'd use it for that one. And the one I'm going to make is Call Me Clover, which again is a colour that I've not really used much. So, traffic going past, why not? So I'm going to just simply use my trimmer for scoring this one. You can use your scoring board, it makes no odds, but I just find this is just as quick and just as simple. So we're going to do it that way. So, right, sorry, I was just looking at my notes thinking that's wrong, but it's not, it's just the way I'm reading it. So you need a piece of cardstock that is 9 1/8 by 6 inches, and that's 23 centimetres by 15 centimetres. And we're simply just going to score along the long side. Simple as that today. So, I'll just get my arm out, and then we're going to score. Let me just pull this across so you can hopefully see it all. So we're going to start off by scoring at 3 1/2 inches, then 3 5/8, which I always have to count. I do apologise, I'm rubbish at stuff like that. 3 5/8, then we do 7 5/8, which I now know is that one, and then 7 3/4. And that's it. So I've scored at 3 1/2, 3 5/8, 7 5/8, and 7 3/4. And in centimetres, that's 9, 9 1/2, 19 1/2, and 20. Simple as that. So I'm going to pop that out of the way. And as I say, that literally is it. You don't need to do any more to this. So obviously we need to fold and burnish. And when you've only got 1/8 of an inch or 1/2 centimetre, it can be hard. But I've found with this that if you just sort of push the card slightly over your finger, it does actually start to fold. And then you just sort of have to push across the crease that you've already done. And as you can see now, it's folded over. And just give that a burnish too. And that will give you that very small, but what we need, little fold there. And we're going to do exactly the same on this side. So fold over, just make sure that you don't cross those lines over. So as happened then, I'd got the first score line here, but the top score line had flipped over. So just make sure that you don't get that, because it will obviously mess it all up then. And then just simply, I'm just pulling this piece of card here in my left hand. I'm just pulling it ever so slightly to make it fold over so that I can get to that other score line there. And then just obviously push this one back just to create that fold. And there you have your kind of book fold, if you like. And there's the folder already. So very simply, I have my A6 notepad here, and I'm actually going to use some tear and tape to hold this in place. I would have previously used fuse, but obviously we don't have that now. So just tear and tape, I find, is just as convenient, just as strong. Make sure those ends press down, and then obviously just take the backing off. And then just very carefully pop this where I want it. Hopefully you didn't get my head in shot then as I'm looking over the top. So there is my notebook now stuck in place. So obviously I want to decorate it, so I'm going to put that to one side, and we need 2 pieces of Whisper White, just checking which side I need to be stamping. And as I say, I've got the lovely handwritten stamp set. So you do need your F block for these large background stamps, but trust me, they are worth it. Or you could just pay a little bit extra and get wood mount, and then you don't have to worry about mounting them every time. But I prefer this way anyway, it just makes it easier. So my 2 pieces of Whisper White that I have here, I have 5 3/4 by 3 1/4 and 5 3/4 by 1 1/8. So I have 14.5 by 8.5 and 14.5 by 2.5. Simple. So Call Me Clover ink pad, which I'm just simply inking, and this is an easier way to do your background stamps if you've not used one before, is to literally leave your stamp flat face up like this and just go along and ink it that way. So I'm just going to pop that to one side, and I'm also going to move that out of the way because I don't want to stamp that when I've done this one. So then what I generally do is I line this up with my grid paper so that I can see that it's fairly square on, and then I line my block up. Now I have checked, and this isn't quite, you know, it's the full size of this, so you need to get it fairly square on. And so again, I just sort of line up this bottom edge of the rubber stamp with the bottom of my card, just to make sure that it's lined up. Give it a press, and then there we have it, our stamped card. And as you can see, as I said, it's just slightly bigger than the stamp, so you do get the bottom and top little borders, but that's fine. And then obviously we want to do the small part here, so I'm just literally going to ink down the centre, just there, and do exactly the same. Line it up, and there we have it. And there is my second part. So I'm just going to pop this onto my Stampin' Scrub out of the way, and let's close this up for the moment. So these obviously now need to be stuck onto our notepad card. So onto the front here, obviously where the bigger piece goes. So just run my snail down it. And then just simply pop that on the front. And then likewise with the narrow piece, this is just going to go on that other part. So it just again just sits down there. Beautiful. So now we need to do our magnets. So I have my magnets here, and these are from Spider Magnets on eBay, and I can never remember the size of them. So there's one. There's two. They are really strong for little magnets, and these are 8mm diameter, 1mm thick. So they are small ones. Now I've just realised I need my 1/2" punch, which I've put out with another project somewhere. I can't see it anywhere. Where is it? Is it still on the shelf? No, that's my 3/4. Oh heck. This is what happens when you get organised, you see. No, that's 1 1/4. That's 1. Where's my... No, I actually give up. I cannot find my 1/2" circle punch. Well, I have no clue where that's gone. That's not very good, is it? And I'm just looking at my projects and thinking none of them require it. Where is it? Oh, shush! No, shush, girl. Sorry, the dogs are in the window. Oh, this is ridiculous. We'll have to just pretend that I have my 1/2" circle punch, because I have no clue where it's gone. It's not on my shelf, and it's not with any of my other stuff. So it's wandered. Who knows? So what you would do is punch your 1/2" circle punch and make 2 little circles in your Call Me Clover, and you then just simply add glue dots and pop them onto your card. So the first one I'm going to pop on, I'm just going to put the glue dot on and pop it on the centre there. This one you need to make sure you're going to get it the right way round. So I always go close to it, and you see that's gone straight onto it. So I now know that this piece on my finger needs to go onto the other side of my book. Again, I'm going to put them together because I want to make sure they're in the right place. Give them a good press, and you can always give them just a moment to make sure that adhesive sticks, but there we have it. And then, as I say, your 1/2 inch circle punch will cover your 2 circles there, your 2 magnets. And then for the monogrammed part, I'm using my layered ovals, and I've got these ready. That's really bothering me now where that punch is, because I have OCD. I don't lose anything, and everything is always put in its place, so I'm a bit worried now where that's gone. Anyway, so a bit of Whisper White and my letters for you, and I think I'll do this one for, well, either my son or my husband, because they're a Jack or a John. So pop that on there, back in with my Call Me Clover, which I've just got on my finger, and I'm just going to pop it on there. Stick that on my Stampin' Scrub out of the way. And obviously I didn't cut this out with my large letter framelits because I just wanted to cut it out with my ovals. So I'm just going to move these towards me and grab my Big Shot, which is a little bit dirty again, I'm afraid. I do apologise. I'll make sure it's clean for Thursday's video, I promise. Right, so I don't know why I've just took all of that off. So look, this has thrown me completely now. Don't like losing things. So I have what have we got here? So a 2 inch across here, oval for my green, Call Me Clover, and the smaller one is around 1 3/4, and that is just for my letter, which I'm hoping, I'm just trying to look in the camera because it makes it a bit easier. Doesn't look quite straight, does it? That's better. So, and I'm doing both of them together just because the Call Me Clover doesn't have to be lined up, so I can cope with that having a little slip, and it obviously makes it a bit quicker just to do them both at the same time. So let's move that out of the way. And then I've obviously got my monogram and my green. I keep saying green, Call Me Clover. Call Me Clover, that's what it's saying to me, isn't it? Call Me Clover, not green. And then I've just simply added some adhesive to this. Popped him on here. And then again just with some snail on the back there, this just goes onto the front, and I've just popped it at the bottom, just I like that a bit different. And there it is. There is my finished notebooks minus my 1/2 inch circle punch. I have no clue. I'm going to have to look for it before I do anything else today now. There are my notebooks. I hope you like them. Everything I've used is from the current annual catalogue. Don't forget we have a Christmas catalogue coming out very soon. I know you don't want to hear me saying those words, but the Christmas catalogue is amazing. I've already placed one order and I have another order ready to go because I love so much stuff in it that I couldn't decide. I hope you like it too. Don't forget, if you do want a catalogue from me, just contact me via my blog or via my emails. That's absolutely fine, or Facebook. Sadly, I can only send the Christmas catalogues out to people who live in the UK, which obviously includes Scotland and Wales, and France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands. I'm afraid I can't send them to anywhere else, so I do apologise. But if you live in any of those countries and you like Christmas catalogue, then just let me know and I'll send one out to you. Hope you have a great day, guys, and thank you for joining me. Bye!